Would you like to learn how to improvise on the violin? Yes, of course. Let's do it. Hi and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to learn how to improvise on the violin, and even if you're a total beginner, the tools I'm going to share with you will help you to start improvising right away. The first approach I'm going to share with you is totally intuitive. It has 4 steps in it, and the second approach is a scientific one. But what is a scientific approach? It's always a reverse engineered intuitive approach, right? So it'll be just a little bit more deeply explained and will make it easier for people who love science or scientific approach to learn it. But basically everything is intuition. So if you're a scientific kind of person, then it will totally help your inner growth if you apply the intuitive approach, and vice versa. If you're an intuitive person, then definitely try to apply the scientific method as well, or just play with both of them. It's totally fun. So the first step to your intuitive approach to improvising is listen to the backing track. Keep listening to it every day. If you're a slow learner, so to speak, then you will listen to it probably every day for 1 week. And if you're a really fast learner, then it will be sufficient if you listen to it 2 or 3 times, and then you can start improvising right away. Step number 2, put on the backing track. And now you're finally allowed to take your violin, and while the music is running in the background, you're going to try all kinds of different things. You're going to try the open G string, the first finger on a G string, second finger on a G string, third finger on a G string, fourth finger on a G string. Perhaps it's a low first finger on a G string or low second finger on a G string. Perhaps it's the third finger on an E string. So try all the notes that come to mind and see whether they're a good match to your backing track. So let's try this now. Noticed that some notes were a great match while other notes sounded really awful, and this is exactly what you're about to find out. Just play one note after another and notice which note is a great match, which note could you just keep playing all the time and it would sound awesome, and which note couldn't you play at all, which I'm not going to do now. It sounds really annoying when you play a note that doesn't match. Find all the notes that are a great match. Start with one of them. So for example, if it's G, right? G sounded quite pleasant, then play G. You just play one note and you're already improvising. The third step now is to find a rhythmical pattern. Try to find something interesting. Or short, short, long, short, short, long. And play together with a backing track and see what it sounds like. Or come up with all kinds of interesting things. That's a tango, so improvise, have fun. You could do 4 short ones and 2 long ones. Short, 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 long, long, right? or the other way around. So let's try this and see what it sounds like. Congratulations, you're just starting through and you're already having so much fun. It's amazing. So the next step is to find another matching note, the second one. In this case, it would be the third finger on a G string. And play with these two. So perhaps you can do long open string and two short ones with the third finger on a G string. Or the other way around. Let's see what that sounds like. That was amazing. Now we're going to find the third note and try to play the three different notes and all kinds of different rhythmical patterns. Let's give it a try. Are you ready for the next note? Now we have three, which is the open G string, the high second finger on a G string, which is a B, and the third finger on the G string, which is a C. Yeah, so far we have G, B, and C. So now let's find another one and keep improvising. Let's give it a try. See how much you can do with only 4 notes. That's amazing. Now you are set for success because you have all the necessary tools that you need for moving forward. These were your first 3 steps. Number 1, listen to the track. Number 2, listen to it while trying to find the first matching note and try to find a rhythmical pattern for it. That was step number 3. Step number 4 was find more than 1 note. Now you can keep enjoying yourself no end. From now on, you're totally free. And the more you listen to the track, the more you try to play together with it, the more notes you will keep finding. So let's try this together. I'll do a very simple arrangement for you. Try to play with me. So far you have open G string, second finger on a G string, which is B, third finger on a G string, which is C, and fourth finger on a G string, which is D. Okay, now we're going to try and find some different notes and try to improvise to your heart's content. It's fun. Let's do this. Fun. You probably noticed that I found a lot more new matching notes. I found the low first finger on a D string, low fourth finger on a D string, and loads of other notes. Now you got your intuitive approach. Step number one, listen to the backing track. Listen to it as often as you can so that you can kind of download it into your system and almost learn it by heart. That's your step number one. Step number two, now you can put the music on and take your violin and try to find the first matching note. Try to play all the notes in your violin and try to find the first one. That's your step number two. Step number three, find an interesting rhythmical pattern and start playing with your backing track. So you could invent all kinds of rhythmical patterns like long, short, short, long, short, short, or 4 short ones, 2 long ones, yeah? Anything that comes to mind and is matching the music is fine. So that's step number three. And step number four, find more than one note and start playing those notes. Yeah, start finding new ways to go, so to speak. So you found the first one, start playing with 2 notes, then increase it to 3 notes and so on, and keep your rhythmical pattern the same at the beginning, then start playing different rhythmical patterns and so on. So you can keep adding new rhythmical patterns, new notes, and playing with them. It's like an endless field of possibilities. It's totally exciting because every day you will keep finding new things, and they're very exciting. So that was the intuitive approach to improvising. Now you're ready for the scientific approach, am I right? So how do you actually find the right notes that match? Is there a shortcut to it? Yes, absolutely. Your first step would be actually to listen to the track and find the key. Listen to the backing track and find the key in which it is. So how do you do that? In case you don't know how to do it, I'm going to tell you all about it. So you keep playing one note after another, like I showed you before. Which note is matching. As soon as you found the note that is matching, that might be your key, right? Then stop the music and play the scale. That would be the G major scale. Now put your backing track on again and try to play the scale to it. and see whether it's a good match. Is it a good match? If not, perhaps you should try the minor. Is it a good match or not? If not, then keep searching. Put the backing track on again and keep searching. Perhaps it's this note. So this is C. And now play C major. And see whether it's a good match. If not, try C minor. And if this is a good match, you found your key. This is C minor, okay? And all the notes in C minor are the notes that you can use for your improvisation. Isn't that exciting? So now you found actually all the notes right away. That's amazing. So now you know the key. The second step would be the same. Find a rhythmical pattern. But now, because you know the key, you can actually already play with different notes, right? Found the key. We are going to try and find the time signature. What is it? Is it 2/4? Is it 4/4? Is it 3/4? So the 4/4 pattern would be strong, weak, and a little bit less strong and weak. Yeah, the first beat is strong, the second beat is weak. Third beat is a little bit less strong than the first one, and the fourth one is totally weak again. Or perhaps we have 2/4, which is always strong, weak, strong, weak, strong, weak. Or perhaps we have a 3/4 pattern, which is strong, weak, weak, strong, weak, weak. Yeah, that would be a waltz. So try to find a time signature. So now you know the key. As soon as you know the time signature, it doesn't matter whether you can differentiate between the 4/4 or 2/4. It's not so important. It is actually possible to learn it by listening to a lot of different pieces. You will be able to start differentiating between those two, but at the beginning it might be a little bit difficult. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, or is it 1, 2, 1, 2? If you just recognize the pattern, that it's strong, weak, it doesn't matter which one it is. So at the beginning you can just say, okay, it's 4/4 or 2/4, I'm not sure, but I know it's one of them. Or it's a waltz. It's strong, weak, weak, strong, weak, weak, which is a totally different pattern, right? So as soon as you know the key and the rhythm, you are free to go. What is it? Dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. I would say it's 4/4. Bum, ba-dum, bum. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And within that pattern you can invent all kinds of different rhythms. It's so much fun. Actually, you're learning music theory without even knowing anything at all about music theory. So this is actually totally exciting. Now you know the key in which we're in, you know the time signature, which is always at the beginning of each piece. There is a time signature, and there you can see the signs which we need. We have either the sharps or the flats. So this is the most important information actually you have for the whole piece. Yeah, you have to know the time signature and your signs. Okay, and as soon as you know that, you're free to go, baby. you're ready to improvise. So this is the more scientific approach, so to speak. Even if you don't know anything about music theory, you can actually find the key in which you are, you can find the time signature, and then you're ready to go. If you want me to break it down to you into small steps, first step to your scientific approach would be to, of course, listen to the backing track, just like in intuitive approach, listen to it. Then second step would be try to determine the key, try to find the key in which it is. I showed you how. Then third step would be try to find what time signature we have, and then start playing. Yeah, first of all, you can start playing with one note, then you can add loads of different notes to it because you know which ones to use, because you know the key that we're in. And then step number 5, invent your own new rhythmical patterns and start playing with them. And do this on a daily basis, do this consistently, and you'll become so good at it. It's amazing. Even if you're a total beginner, well, not like total beginner, like you started yesterday or something, but even if you've been playing for only a couple of months, you will be able to actually achieve amazing results. So if you're looking for this tango and want to start improvising, then I'll put the link in the description box below. It's a beautiful tango, one of my favorites. It's called Tango de Manzana. I'm going to show you 2 different versions of improvising to this song. First one is just improvising, just playing whatever comes to mind. And second one was slightly oriental version where I loved playing with the augmented second. So much fun. Enjoy the improvisations and they might give you a couple of new ideas about how to improvise on the violin.